All right, good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell, and I'm here with some friends today. We're going to be looking at the Exquisite Corpse. This is a game that's somewhat comparable to Telephone. One person will start a sentence or provide a piece of information. The next person contributes to it, and it goes along the line, but you only ever know the thing that the previous person said. We are doing that with Age of Empires civilization building. So what we've done is we have a pool of 8 people. One by one, I have messaged each of them with a request for a different piece of a given civilization. All that they know is the thing provided by the former person. So we're going to be going through one by one and seeing the results. And you guys can tell me what you think of the civilization that unfolds before us. So
I thought it might be fun if the person who made whatever piece is in attendance, what they were thinking at the time.
Yes, perfect idea. I love that, Jalorn. Nicely said. All right, first person was me. I sneakily added myself into the list. Reason being is I wanted to be the one to do the name and history because I hadn't really figured out how to give like fair rules and restrictions for what like should be given. And I decided to do a real civilization that I think is possible to add into Age of Empires, but is a massive long shot. That being the Nivk, which is an indigenous people living off in the taiga off of Russia's far eastern coast. They interacted actually a lot with the Jurchens and the Mongols and Chinese. Dramatic long shot, a 0.1 on the likeliniometer scale. And only knowing that, the next person to make a contribution was Anzu. And his bonus was villagers will always fight with bows and benefit from archer attack upgrades. Anzu, if you are willing, I would love to hear your thoughts behind this bonus.
Yeah, so, like, I've been sitting on this bonus for a while now. Like, I think I mentioned it even when we were discussing the food bonus for the Jurchens. And so since this civilization is sort of in that area, it would display, like, a hunting tradition that would, of course, be necessary to survive in that environment.
Yeah, and they were famed hunters. I actually thought that you had done research for this because this bonus was like frickin' brilliant, man. Other people, what is your thoughts upon seeing this bonus?
Why did we not have anything like this sooner? I mean, hunting villagers have always had bows since the game came out, and no civilization has thought, we give our villagers bows. Why don't they use them? So I mean, it's a really good, flavorful bonus. I like it.
I don't think this is a particularly novel idea. It's just like, I think it would really fit with this civilization. And
all right, so let's move on to bonus number 2. This one was made by Sairam. All he knew was the one that Anzu gave, the villagers fight with bows. And here's what he provided. Sappers have an increased effect on villagers, but reduces their movement speed.
For a moment, this sounded like sappers would increase your damage against villagers.
Which would be hilarious too. So, Sairam, if you're up for it, what brought you to this idea?
So yeah, like when I thought about this bonus, like I just wanted to add on, like complement the bonus suggested by Anzu.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought like the bonus suggested by Anzu might be helpful in feudal and casual age. So I thought like something we can add in the Imperial age. So I came up with this, and I thought like it will be another variation of Flemish Revolution.
Absolutely, and I think that it really does accomplish the intended goal of making villagers terrifying in Imperial Age, while still being like very vulnerable. Like you can't just throw them out there and obliterate a base without like thinking about how you're going about it. So I thought that it was a really, really creative way of approaching the design.
Yeah, and I mean the obsidian arrows analogy is actually very apt because they would be fighting against buildings with bows rather than with their knives.
Yep.
Clearly they've strapped bombs to the end of the bows. Legend of Zelda style.
Anyone else have things to comment on before we proceed to bonus number 3 here?
I swear this is another villager bonus.
I'll lay down my prediction that this Civ is going to end up very good against buildings.
Okay, an excellent prediction, especially because bonus number 3 by Aussie. For every economic tech researched, your villagers gain plus 1% movement speed, along with plus 1 max HP. This includes market technologers. Yeah, this is a very villager-focused civilization. Aussie, tell us your thoughts on this one.
It seemed funny.
Yeah.
I saw the well, the sappers one, something with movement speed, and I was like, I don't like slow villagers, so I said, you know what? If they end up being faster in the end, it'll be good. It'll work fine.
And unintentionally, the max HP thing, obviously it's a great combo with sappers because, you know, you can get close without getting obliterated quite as easily. However, with them also fighting with bows, this truly makes villagers like scarier than Obsidian Arrow's Arbalesters. Hysterically funny. It's a wild gimmick.
I mean, Obsidian Arrows added like +6 damage, Sappers is like +15, so yeah,
Yep.
drushing Civ, but drushing with villagers.
Yeah, exactly. You're drushing with villagers in Imperial Age. I mean, you can also do it in Dark Age with the bows to just be a pest, and that's obviously going to be quite good. But then once you hit Imperial Age, holy smoke, this is going to be disgusting. Now, the next one that we have, unfortunately, Tomasz is not here, which is a bummer, because I think he would really enjoy talking about this, but you guys will laugh when you see this one. Team bonus. All technologies that make units move faster have twice the effect. I think this is the most broken thing anyone came up with. So not only are your villagers going to be moving faster than AoE1 villagers after wheel, but also your infantry and your cavalry will be the fastest in the game, and your whole team gets it. That's insane. It's so funny.
I'll be honest, I think the balancing here is you just get rid, like, this Civ doesn't get wheelbarrow, doesn't get handcart, doesn't get husbandry, but it's okay because it means they get 2% movement speed for every eco tech.
Yep, exactly. I think that in the context of what he saw, this idea makes a lot of sense. It's just insane when you put it in the context of all the other things going on. Thank you very much for that, Tomasz.
Oh my god, that gets more insane later, and you'll see why when we get to
Yes,
that.
it does.
Yeah, ships will also move faster because of...
Oh, and then, yeah, dry dock. Oh, I didn't even think of that. That's gross. Now, moving on to Johannes, who is not going to be with us today. He got the unique unit, and all he knew was the team bonus that Tomasz gave him. It's a long one. A non-combat unit that can build tunnel entrances from which they can dig tunnels, which makes them invisible but perceptible, allowing you to take them out with attack ground, for instance, but move extremely slowly, unless backing out of a tunnel they've already built. They can then build another tunnel entrance from below ground to exit above ground. Once the tunnel is dug, it can be used to transport other foot soldiers through them at their normal speed, allowing for quick redeployment. Of course, tunnel entrances can be destroyed, so plonking one directly into an enemy base isn't recommended, but if you can pull it off, Nidus Worm. I like how he didn't just say, oh, speed faster, you say? Let me do a thing that makes speed get nutty. Even because obviously, on top of all the other things we've done, that would just be absolutely repulsive. However, an incredibly interesting mobility effect. I've seen people talk about like tunnels and tunnel entrances in comment section and stuff like that before, and unintentionally makes your villagers with sappers even grosser. So what do you guys think about this one?
Mantis's Serbs build has tunnels as well, but they're just like regular buildings where you can like put them in one building and exit them from another. Whereas this is both more realistic and also like less cheesable because the unit can be killed while it's underground.
It feels like you would have to implement timed garrisoning for tunnels, because like if you were able to garrison and you had a hotkey for like one end of a tunnel and a hotkey for another end of a tunnel, you would be almost able to like bring them in and then immediately bring them out the other side. Like having them move slowly in the tunnels, I don't know what mechanically one would have to do.
So this is the one that I got to see. So the next will be mine. We'll get to that.
Okay.
But the way I was sort of imagining this working is you can see the tunnels leave like a different terrain type on the ground.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can see where the tunnel network is, and you can see it forming, and that's how you can see where a tunneler, we'll call it, is, right? Moving units would be literally just clicking them, and then they disappear, but the player can still see like a circle of where they are, and they just walk along the tunnel at their normal speed. That's how I was imagining it.
You're basically adding like a new game plane below the regular game, like the tunnels are.
Oh man, that means theoretically, if you have a mirror match, your units could get into fights in the tunnels,
which is kind of sick. The thing that I liked most about it, which is a very like stupid thing to like, is that The Sappers bonus we have earlier features a shovel, naturally. And Sappers in real life dug frickin' tunnels. He came to the tunnels from a different direction. That's amazing.
So naturally, this unit is also affected by Sappers, right?
I mean, I feel like it would have to be.
Yeah.
I feel like it would have to be. I don't know if it would get like the same bonus that Cyron proposed, but maybe we could put it that way if we like set it up correctly. But let's move on to Jalorn's Castle Age unique technology, which funnily enough also features the word Sappers. Experienced Sappers. Petards move 25% faster, and when they blow up, they transform into an infantry unit. This unit has the HP, armor, and speed of the Petard, has an attack of 4, and deals a small amount of bonus damage to buildings and siege. Holy shit, this is such a perfect synergy with the tunnel. You get there, you blow up, and then you have extra bonus damage infantry in the enemy's base. That's fantastic. Jolorn, talk us through this.
So, I saw the unique unit, and I went, well, that's interesting. A unique unit that doesn't actually do damage. Maybe it does, but that's not its main focus. And I went, well, okay, so clearly digging tunnels. Well, what would you like to do when you dig a tunnel under somebody's wall? You want to blow it up. So you like to do something with petards. Once the tunnel is dug, it can be used to transport other foot soldiers, right? So not cavalry.
Yeah.
You can't send cavalry. So I was like, clearly, this is an infantry civ. So how about when the petards are cool, but the problem is that when they do damage, they die. What if they just didn't die? They know what they're doing with the bombs. They don't kill themselves. They plant the bomb, blow it up from a safe distance, and then pull out their sidearm.
I love the idea, man.
For king and country.
Yeah.
We should have had this a long time ago.
Yep.
My understanding of it was always that, like, he only has one batch of gunpowder, and, like, he has to get another one after that.
Yeah, and then he says, aha, now for my next trick, I shall disappear in a puff of flame.
The sidearm thing is like really good. Like maybe this should even be like a common tech, but for the moment it really works really nicely here. Question that I had is, if you're already digging under the wall, what's the point of blowing it up?
You blow up the castle.
Or do you blow it up from under? Like, do you dig a tunnel?
Yeah, and also you can delete the petard in the tunnel to like blow up the wall.
There should be another line. There should be an interaction with the tunnel that if you blow up a petard under a building, it does double damage or something.
Yeah, exactly. That would be so freaking cool. And the fact that once again you came up with a Sappers style thing when we already had this whole Sappers thing gone over earlier was wild to me. And let's round it off with Isai with the Imperial Age unique technology. It's called Dragoons. Infantry moves 50% faster and receives a 15 charge attack every 60 seconds. Charge attack would be a 5 range, 50% accuracy gunpowder projectile. And it would cost 800 food and 500 gold. So an enormous speed boost that also gives this this charge attack. Isai, if you're up for it, would you like to give us a breakdown of your thoughts behind this one?
Yeah. Since I saw the petards, I thought, well, you are going to try to sneak into their bases. And this is going to be like for arena style. So you want to get with your petard and then get damage. So what can we do? We can either improve the hussar or the cavalier, or we could try to do something else. If the petard is going to die and become infantry, why don't we improve the infantry? Now we give a force to the infantry. That's the idea of the dragoons.
I think that with this Imperial technology, if we were to actually implement this civilization on whole, we would have to give them an absolutely crappy barracks that was compensated for with this awesome late game mobility and charge attack, so you could use it for harassment. Especially because one of the things I like most about the synergy is the petard unit that spawns in could immediately do its charge attack with bonus damage to buildings and siege at a range. Spawn in a shitload of dudes that just shoot their pistols everywhere and then go riding off into the sunset, which is hysterical.
I want to point out that, so experienced sappers with the team bonus means that petards move 50% faster.
Yes.
Then they become an infantry with that same speed, and then you pick up the Imperial unique tech and they move twice as fast as that.
Yep. They actually, because of the team bonus that Tomasz made, this means that overall, your infantry after squires would move 120% faster. That's insane.
That's the fastest unity.
Easily. They outrun the horses. They're just like sprinting past on foot. So we've made what's the weird villager that was a cheat code unit?
The oh gosh, the LKVD or whatever.
Yeah,
it is?
it's like 4 letters. I forget what it is. You have that, but they can also shoot you in the face with a matchlock. So, now that we have the context for this civilization, the first thing I think we can comfortably say is that's broken. Obviously.
We were all expecting that.
Yeah. But it's broken in a very interesting way, where it's a civilization that is trying to, like, obliterate your enemy's buildings with incredibly fast-moving but, like, relatively squishy units. And it's focusing on infantry and villagers and using these, like, alternative movement methods to kind of sneak around and blitz into your enemy's base. It feels to me like one of the most fun deathmatch civilizations. Like, imagine a 1v1 of just this, and you just blink and your base is gone. Now that you've seen what other people have done before and after you, do you have any final thoughts about your decisions in creating these, and also, like, the result as a whole?
I can see this as being like quickly build tunnels all underneath your enemy's base, and then have like a mutual self-destruction thing. This would be ridiculous in free-for-alls and like Diplo games. If you move, all my petards are going up, your base is going down.
Oh my god, you're so right.
If you have units in a tunnel, I think they can't see other units above ground. And I think what they can see is, so like, I think they would need to be able to see buildings and trees and stuff, because you would have to know that you can't build a tunnel exit somewhere.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's a good clarification as well.
Like, so, because you would hear footsteps going on above you, so maybe you could understand.
Yeah,
like, you would almost have a fog of war, but only buildings are visible in the tunnel besides directly above you. Yeah.
I was visualizing this as kind of like a SimCity or a Heroes Magic thing, where you would like switch between like the ground view and the underground view.
Yeah.
And so like if you're looking at your underground units, you're of course not seeing what's above you. Can you tell that the footsteps that are above you are like in a field or in a castle?
That's a fair point as well. And you could even do a thing like they do in StarCraft with radar towers, where you just know that there is a unit. You don't know what that unit is, though. Speaking of StarCraft, I want to draw you guys' attention to the fact that this is almost precisely the Zerg. Like, not only are they blazingly fast and have a bunch of shitty little cheap units that will melt your base in heartbeats, they have things that explode like banelings. They have the tunnels, obviously, both nidus worms and roaches. And on top of all that, they look like they'd be an absolute nightmare to play against.
Their rush is a bit slower, though.
That's true. Their rush is not nearly as good. But even then, like, villagers with bows is annoying. Like, you can do some damage with that.
Yeah, and this all started with villagers hunting with bows.
Yep.
As good as their villagers are, I feel like the most broken bonus here is the team bonus.
Oh, by far. Tomas will be delighted when he hears.
Does that mean that Caravan would make trade carts move like
yes.
twice? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh, here's another one too. Drills. Drills would get double bonuses.
Oh god, drill. 80% faster siege.
I can't believe this is the NIV we're talking about here. It makes it even funnier.
Who knew they were such good siege warfare?
Kamchatka will never be safe. And so with a NIV ally, the Mongols, oh, that's even a kind of historical tie-in, have like literal Cobra cars. It's we're all here for the history, folks.
I think we should just like make it canon that these are like actually the Zerg. They just landed in Eastern Russia. And
yeah, exactly. That's fantastic. Well, from my perspective, this was a roaring success. We came up with something way more cohesive than I would have imagined we would have. And because of that, my final question to you guys is, you want to do this again?
Absolutely.
Yes. I'd love to do this, yeah.
Definitely. Sick. This was so fun.
Apparently, Exquisite Corpse is originally a French surrealist parlor game.
Of all damn things. Huh. Like, that sounds like Mad Libs almost.
The name is derived from a phrase that resulted when surrealists first played the game.
Yeah, I was about to say, they played the game to get the name. Yeah. All right, guys, in that case, let's sign off. Thank you all so much for playing. You made fantastic contributions, and I look forward to doing this again with you all. And without any further ado, my name has been Robbie Howell. These have been my fine co-designers, and ciao for now.